How's everyone doing today? So I want to thank Xtool for sending me their D8W scan tool for review. This is an upgraded version of their very popular D8 and D8BT scan tool. The BT is Bluetooth. The W on this one stands for Wi-Fi. Now what that does is, the one thing it does, it gives you a lot more range, so you can be away from the car farther. You can actually be anywhere from 10 to 100 meters. That's about 109 yards, or about 328 feet away from the car compared to Bluetooth. But it's also way faster. The speeds on this, on the communication between the VCI and the scan tool itself is up to 64 megabit per second compared to the Bluetooth version that's 3.2 megabit per second. So, you know, if you have a lot of PIDs pulled up, you're going to have quicker update rates with this scan tool compared to the BT or the D8 or even the D7. The D7, I believe they also have a W version for the D7W or the D7BT. This scan tool, because it is Wi-Fi VCI, it is DoIP compatible. That's Diagnostic over Internet Protocol compatible, which is a high-speed communication between the modules and the scan tool. Cars started rolling out in about 2016, mostly European cars that was DoIP capable, and more manufacturers are going to be going to that because of the high-speed interface between all the modules. Now, this is also CAN FD compatible for cars from about 2020 up, mainly GM cars. It does support programmable module installation on Ford, Lincoln, and Mazda, which allows you to take an old module, write the data, the configuration data to the scan tool, pull it out, put a new module in. And when I say module, I'm talking about a computer, PSCM, the transmission control module, you name it, ABS module, whatever module's on the car, this scan tool will let you swap that out on a Ford, Lincoln, or Mazda. It has 8-in-1 graphing. Of course, just like the D8, it's got 3-year free update and 2-year warranty. But the main thing we're going to do here, we're going to pull this thing out and we're going to compare it, because I think it also has more memory than the D8 or the D8BT. And as you can see here in the picture, it looks like the layout is different. So we're going to pull it out and we're going to give it a shot and see how it works. It's also Android 10 is the operating system. I think the D8 and the D8BT is Android 5.1. So a lot of people, they like those, you know, the newer Android. Now, I never had an issue with the D8 or the D8BT being Android 5 or 5.1. To me, it's just an operating system. As long as the scan tool itself works, that's all I ever cared about. So, as with the regular D8 or D8BT, you get a nice black, or you get a nice case. I think the other cases were red or orange. This one's black. Of course, you're going to have a manual. Okay, so the VCI is a little bit different. You've got a Wi-Fi symbol here. Car symbol, that's on off. That's usually an on off button in the middle. The old VCI had a little display with the voltage on it. Get some cabling, and of course a brick. So it does look to be slightly different. Still got a kickstand, which is nice. It has an 8 megapixel camera. And let me get my D8BT. And you can see that it no longer has the serial port. which there's no reason for that because I don't think it's even hooked up. I did a video showing using a cable with the D8BT to see if it would work. So if you want to see that video, you can do a search for it and it should pop up. So let's turn this thing on. So I do want English. And there's all, look at all the Wi-Fi that's picking up. So I'm going to get this thing connected up to my Wi-Fi so I can update it, and we'll get it going. Okay, so right off the bat, we've got us a update for the actual operating system. So we're going to let that install, and then I'll do all the updates for the individual manufacturers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and update the cars. And whenever they're done, I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the D8W updated. We're going to check some hardware specs and go through some of these settings and see what they are. Now it looks to me like so when you look here at on the D8W, the car icon where it says auto scan looks like it's the same thing as auto scan on the regular D8BT. Then you got the special function button. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. I'm going to hit that on both of them. And looks like we got some different icons. It's supposed to have 38. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35, 36, 37, 38. So there's 38 special functions on the W, and it looks like there's 38 on the BT also. So special function wise, it looks like they're the same. So let's go ahead and go back. Report looks like the same type of report. Diagnosis, data playback, data view. Now on the BT, we've got diagnosis report, playback, file manager, and data view. And then of course we've got the update button. If you go to more, on the BT we only have an endoscope option. On the W we got profile, VCI management, endoscope, and user manual. So I'm going to go ahead and click the VCI management because that is under settings on the BT. So it looks like we got VCI connection, which we're about to go out to the truck and hook this up, and we'll do a real quick scan of the truck and go through some of the features of this scan tool. And then we've got a self-test where you can hook it up, it looks like, to the scan tool and do a self-test. So let's back out of that. Remote control, that's so that Xtool can remotely log in and help you troubleshoot your scan tool. We got settings. Before I click settings, let's click over here to Xtool, and let's see what, okay, that's just going to take you to their website. So we don't need to go through that right now. I'm going to click settings. And of course I've got English selected, units, I've got US units, USB settings, okay, data transfer mode or expansion mode. And then sound and display, and then about. Now I do want to look at the about. I want to see what, if you look at the app version, on the W we've got 5.4.9 underscore 9.88 on the BT, and this BT is updated to the latest software. It's 4.39.1.8.17.
let's see, OS settings. I don't even know what OS settings are. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into that real quick since it's going to take us there. Let's look at storage real quick. Okay, I can already see that this is going to have a lot more storage. So this is saying that right now we're using 25.71 gigabytes of 128 gigabytes. So we have the W version has 128 gigabyte total storage. Now the BT, and I've never been able to figure out exactly how much storage the BT has. It says total space up here on internal storage. It says total space of 10.21 gig. Available is 9.4 gig. And then down here it says total space 40.23 gig. Available 23.97 gig. And then you've got another total space below that, 4.87 gig. Now the BT does not have a place for a SD card. So there is no SD card on the BT on either one of these. This is all built-in memory. So it does look like that the W has 128 gigs of total storage. Let's go down here to About Tablet. There's your Android 10. Do that over here on the BT. Okay, so it says here on the BT, we've got 2 gigs of RAM and we've got 64 gigs of flash memory. So this must have 64 gigs of total storage. So they've doubled the storage to 128 gigs. So that's good. Now I did read that the memory on the W is 4 gig, and it looks the RAM, and the RAM on the BT is 2 gig. So there is 2 gig more RAM on the W version. And you can see the Android version on the BT is 5.11. So, I don't know if there's anything more that we really care about here other than getting out there on the vehicle. So let's do that. I'm going to go out to the vehicle. I've got plenty of videos on the BT, so we're not going to worry about anything more on the BT. We're going to go out to the vehicle and we're going to hook it up and see what all it does. Oh, just real quick, here's the VCI. This is the BT. Here, let me swap hands. This is the VCI for the BT. It's got a little digital display that would show the voltage whenever you plugged it into the diagnostic port, and then it's got your 3 LEDs here for when it's connected and powered up and transmit, and if it's connected to the tablet. Here's the new VCI. This is the Wi-Fi VCI for the W version. It doesn't have a voltage readout. It doesn't have anything on the end here, but it does have these 3 LEDs right here to show power and activity and if it's connected up to the tablet. So let's go out to the truck and let's see what we got going on here. Alright guys, so here we are. And I've got it connected to the truck. It connected up real quick as far as the scan tool to the VCI. I'm going to hit auto scan. Okay, found the truck pretty quick. Says engine must be off, but I've got it running just so I don't run my battery low. I'm just going to hit auto scan. And you can see that it obviously has topology just like the D8BT did. And it does look like it's going through these modules a lot quicker than the D8BT. And I will do a follow-up video showing how fast it finishes the scan on this truck and possibly other vehicles, and how fast the BT does a scan. Now the gray modules that you see up there, those are modules that are not on this truck. This is a LTZ truck, but it obviously doesn't have all these modules on. I think there's a total of 19 or 20 modules that this truck has. You can see up in the upper right corner that it's got that can have a total of 31 modules. It is on 28 of 31, 29 of 31, 30, 31, and getting ready to hit 31 of 31. Now it's scanning, and there we go. So we finished scanning all the modules. You can do a DTC report just by hitting that button, and there's all the DTCs, that whichever module has the DTCs and what the DTCs are. So let's go ahead and go back. You can hit list, and it will take it out of the topology mode and show you the entire list. And okay, 20 modules is what this truck has on it. And it will list the modules that have DTCs at the very top first. That way you don't have to scroll through. And if you want to see the DTC, you can just hit the little arrow, and it shows you a nice quick readout of the DTC. If you want to go into that module, you just hit diagnose, and you get right into that module. So, whoops, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to go back to topology. And on the topology, whenever you're looking at these icons, if you want to know what one is, we'll just look at the green one here that says PSCM. If you want to know what that is, you just tap it, and power steering control module. And that's all you got to do. And again, if you hit diagnose, it takes you straight into that module. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Looks like system selection is going to be the same as it is. That's where it won't do any scans. You can just select which module you want to go straight into. And that way you don't have to wait for it to go through a scan. Manual selection, if for some reason it didn't auto detect your car, then you can just go here, select the year, make, model, and get it connected up that way. And obviously right here you can see that it's showing all the information about the truck. And if you wanted to go into special functions, you just hit the special functions icon, and there's all the special functions right there. So it'll be a lot quicker. Let's go into special functions real quick before we get into live data. Let's just take a look and see if I see anything. Okay, that all looks like the same thing that the BT has. And now we'll go into actuation test. Yep, I think that's probably everything that the BT has also. So let's go into live data. We'll just do engine data. We got 73 PIDs here. And it looks like they're all already, yeah, they're all updated and counting. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, that's about as fast as you can expect a scan tool to be. There's no lag at all. Whenever I hit the accelerator pedal, you see the instant change in everything. Just select those PIDs right there. I didn't even pay attention to what they were. I just wanted to select them, go over here to graph. That's nice. Look at that. You can have 8 different graphs pulled up. And look how responsive that is. That's amazing. Let's see, display all combine. You can record them. You can export the data. I've always liked the graphing ability of the Xtool tools compared to other tools that I've used. A lot of tools have a delay and a very, I don't know, pixelated graphing or delayed graphing, whatever you want to call it. The Xtool, man, it's just nice and responsive. Anyway, I think we're probably done. This video's probably gotten longer than what I originally intended for it to. So I'm going to go ahead and shut her down just to let you see the new Xtool D8W. W, of course, is Wi-Fi. So, you know, the VCI is connected wirelessly through Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth. In fact, let's go back into settings and go to, wait a minute, where was the, let's go here into more, I think is where it was at. VCI management. Yeah, see, it's got a check mark on it now, and it's, I guess it's showing that it's actually connected. Firmware version, latest firmware, current firmware. So firmware-wise, it's all up to speed, and everything looks good. Anyway, we're definitely done now. You guys take care. I'll be doing more videos on the D8W, comparing it to the BT. So stay tuned for that. You guys take care.